Hey, Jamie, you're really good at remembering vocabulary. I always seem to forget the words I learn after a few days. Do you have any tips?
I totally get it, Alex. I used to have the same problem until I started using a memory technique called the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. It's great for moving information from short-term to long-term memory.
I've heard of Ebbinghaus, but I don't really understand how his method helps with memory. Can you explain?
Sure. Ebbinghaus was a psychologist who discovered that when we learn new information, like vocabulary, we tend to forget most of it quickly, unless we reinforce it. He created a model, known as the forgetting curve, that shows how our memory decays over time.
So, he found that we naturally forget new information unless we do something to stop it?
Exactly. The key is to review information at specific intervals to interrupt that forgetting process. By spacing out reviews, we strengthen our memory at just the right times to convert short-term memories into long-term ones.
How does spacing out reviews help exactly?
When we first learn something, it goes into short-term memory, which is pretty limited. If you review it right after you learn it, that memory becomes slightly stronger. Then, when you review it again a day or two later, it reinforces it even more. The spacing allows your brain to actively work to recall the information each time, which gradually moves it into long-term memory.
So, I shouldn't just review everything at once? I should review words multiple times, but with some gaps in between?
That's right. After the first review, you might review it again the next day, then 2 days later, then a week later, and so on. Each time you're slightly stretching the interval between reviews. This helps to strengthen your memory because it's not just constant repetition. You're actively recalling the word after giving it some time to fade.
Interesting. So the effort to recall it actually helps strengthen my memory?
Exactly. Ebbinghaus found that making your brain work a little to retrieve information creates a stronger, longer-lasting memory. By spacing out reviews, you're actively engaging with the words instead of just passively memorizing them.
That makes sense. How long does it usually take for words to move into long-term memory with this method?
It can vary depending on the person and the complexity of the word. But generally, if you follow a spaced repetition pattern, you might start retaining words in your long-term memory after a few weeks. The more consistently you review, the better your retention becomes, and over time, you'll find you need to review less frequently.
So it's like building a foundation in my memory and then reinforcing it over time, right?
Exactly. Think of each review as adding another layer to that foundation. Each time you recall the word, it sticks a little better. Eventually, it becomes solid enough that it stays in your memory for much longer.
I usually forget words after just a few days, but I guess that's because I don't go back and review them.
Exactly. Without those spaced reviews, the brain doesn't get enough reinforcement to keep the memory stable. Ebbinghaus's method isn't about memorizing more in one go but rather remembering better by spacing out reviews.
This sounds promising. So if I want to remember a word long-term, I should start by reviewing it right after I learn it, then review it again the next day, and gradually increase the gaps, right?
That's the idea. Give it a try. You'll probably notice that the words start to feel more familiar over time, even without cramming. It's all about letting your brain store the memory naturally.
Thanks, Jamie. I'll definitely try this approach. It sounds way more efficient than just repeating words over and over in one sitting.
It really is. Consistent, spaced out reviews make a big difference. Let me know how it goes.
What problem does Alex mention about his vocabulary learning? A. He learns words too quickly. B. He forgets words after a few days. C. He finds vocabulary too easy. D. He doesn't want to learn new words. The answer is B. He forgets words after a few days. What technique does Jamie recommend to help with memory? A. Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. B. Cramming. C. Writing everything down. D. Passive memorization. The answer is A. Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. What happens to memories that are not reviewed according to Ebbinghaus? A. They become stronger. B. They stay the same. C. They decay over time. D. They are stored in long-term memory. The answer is C. They decay over time. How does Jamie suggest Alex should review words? A. All at once without breaks. B. Only when he feels like it. C. Only once a week. D. Right after learning, then at increasing intervals. The answer is D. Right after learning, then at increasing intervals. What is the purpose of spacing out reviews, according to Jamie? A. To reinforce memory by allowing time for recall. B. To memorize as many words as possible at once. C. To reduce the overall study time. D. To make vocabulary learning more challenging. The answer is A. To reinforce memory by allowing time for recall.